Hello class. So we are here for a grammar class. So today I'll be continuing with the chapter that is chapter 9, the sentence. So we have talked about the sentence, its definition, the subject and the predicate, the two parts of a sentence, and the first kind we have talked about, that's the declarative or assertive sentence. So the second kind that we'll be talking about today is the imperative sentence. What is an imperative sentence? It is a sentence that expresses a request, advice, or gives an order or a command. So here most of the imperative sentence ends up with a full stop, but when you are giving some order or command, it can also end up with an exclamation mark. Like when you say get out of the room, so it can end with an exclamation mark, but it's not an exclamatory sentence, it's an imperative sentence. So when you're giving an advice, always speak the truth, or you're prohibiting something, some words of prohibition, you're saying do not park here, is an imperative sentence. Also imperative sentence when you are requesting someone with a please, you are requesting, so the subject you is understood, so it can be omitted. Like when you say please switch on the fan, so you're not saying you please switch on the fan, so you is understood over here. So when you are having a request, it starts with a please. So now this is all about the imperative sentence. So next type, that is the third type, is the interrogative sentence, wherein an interrogative sentence asks questions and it ends with a question mark. When you say an imperative sentence, where are you going? Why did you turn off the music? An imperative sentence can also be a negative sentence, like hasn't the train arrived yet? Okay, so now let's see the formation of the interrogative sentence. So when you have a declarative sentence as Tina is a dancer, so changing this into an interrogative, you will write is Tina a dancer? So to form the interrogative or a question, we change the position of the subject and the verb so that the subject, that is Tina, comes after the verb, that is when you are putting it into the interrogative kind. So in assertive sentences that have helping or auxiliary verbs like is and are, have, had, was, were, the question starts with a helping verb. That is followed in the assertive sentence when you are turning an assertive into an interrogative. Similarly, the sentence that have words like can, may, will, should, etc., some modal auxiliaries, the question starts with a modal auxiliary. Like for example, you have here Rahil should join the coaching class. So here you start the question sentence, that is interrogative, with the modal word, that is should Rahil join the question class. Then the next formation you have to remember, when forming questions from assertive sentences that do not have helping verbs, like previously the sentences that I just now said, you have an auxiliary verb, but if you don't have an helping verb, then do is used in the beginning of the question, like Shalini sings well. So you say here Shalini is a singular subject, so you use does Shalini sing well? So this is the question sentence. Then in such sentences, the helping verb changes according to person, number or tense, while the main verb remains in its base form. Like Mr. Rao went to the market, say did Mr. Rao go to the market? So you see here the base form of the verb changes from went to go. This machine makes coffee. So does this machine make coffee? Instead of makes, it becomes make. So this is all is about the interrogative sentence. And lastly, we have the exclamatory sentence, wherein in this kind of sentence is express strong feelings, and this kind of sentence it ends up with an exclamation mark. So when you have some sentences like hurrah, India has won the match, this is a sentence showing joy. Then in a sorrowful sentence wherein you say alas, I am undone, then something horror, something fearsome you have seen. So you say, what a horrible death, something of warning, giving a warning, you say, beware. You put a exclamation mark and you say, he is going to hit you. Again it was exclamation mark. Then something showing concern, oh dear, you are hurt. Then something of surprise, showing in a sentence, what a pleasant surprise, an exclamation mark. So this was all about your kinds of sentences that we have taught. Perhaps I am quite okay with my understanding, and students, I hope you have understood the chapter. So as we have completed with our grammar syllabus, so here I'll be posting all your exercises and you have it done accordingly, whether in your book or in your grammar class workbook. And rest in the writing part, more 2 topics are left that I'll be doing afterwards. Okay, so this is all is from me for today's students. Goodbye and have a good day.